DJ Tony Duck.
She gon' take care of her bitch, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She gon' take care of
She Trucking Podcast is an informative podcast that is dedicated to bringing listeners the latest news and updates from the ever-evolving transportation industry. Founded by industry expert and entrepreneur Sheree Moore, and powered by CTR Media Network. Whether you're a seasoned transportation professional or just getting started in the industry, the She Trucking Podcast offers valuable insights and advice to help you stay ahead of the curve. Learn more online at shetrucking.com.
Hello and welcome to the She Trucking Podcast. Today is going to be an amazing show. I have Miss Gretchen Long with Long Money Trucking. We're going to talk about trucking. We're going to talk about dispatching. Her energy is just amazing. That's why I got energy right now. She done got me all pumped up watching her TikTok. Well, she have almost 100,000 followers on her TikTok. I'm going to give y'all all the sauce, all the gems, and I'm gonna bring her on. We ain't gonna wait. We're gonna bring her on. Welcome, Miss Gretchen. How are you doing today?
How are you?
Welcome to the She
Thank
Trucking
you.
Podcast. So tell us about you. Tell us about who is Miss Gretchen Long.
Oh man, let's talk about it a little bit. So hello everyone to the She Trucking Podcast audience. My name is Gretchen Long. I am the founder and CEO of Long Money Trucking Services. We assist owner-operators and small fleet owners with revenue production and asset protection, as well as fleet management services. And we also teach others how to get to the industry and really capitalize and do trucking the right way. I come from a sales background. Prior to being an entrepreneur, I was an employee working a 9-to-5 in a leadership capacity. And I've just been able to really translate those same skills over to my own business and leading my team. And we've been able to scale from just me as a dispatcher to having over 8 employees within the company. So it's just really been awesome. And God has really shed his light on my business.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So currently, how many carriers are you? Okay, well, before I get into that, what did you do before trucking? Dispatching and getting into the trucking industry.
Yeah, so I used to work for Comcast, which is like a cable company in Florida. I started out there as like a part-time front counter sales rep. Continued to work there. I was with that company for like 8 years. I remember trying to get promoted and working really hard as a front counter rep, trying to get promoted to leadership. And I remember I interviewed 8 times to become an assistant manager there, right? And it was so crazy because I wasn't not getting hired because I wasn't capable, right? I would be getting told, I'm scared to hire you because you might take my position, or, maybe you should interview for a higher level position, So I dealt with all of that. And then I eventually did end up becoming an assistant manager. And then I was the first person to be promoted to store manager within 7 months there. And I managed a team of over 20 people there. And that was really awesome. I do have to account a lot of the knowledge and leadership skills that I do have to that position and being at that company, because Comcast does do a really good job with training and leadership and making sure that you're prepared to lead people. I learned how to scout talent, how to develop talent, how to build teams. So that was just a huge takeaway for me for there. So I always look at it as a positive. Although there might have been some struggle and strife in it, there was a lot of positivity that came out of it.
That's awesome, because teamwork, it makes the dream work. And in this industry, you have to know how to work as a team. So kudos to you. My next question is, tell what is dispatching? What is it? What is it now for us?
Yes, this is a great question. Yes, ma'am. Great question, because so many people think that dispatching is just finding loads for trucks. But as a dispatcher, you are in charge of revenue production for carriers, right? You are in charge of revenue production. You are in charge of time management, in charge of trip planning, in charge of scheduling. So you really are a load planning specialist, or even as far as the back end of transportation arrangement, right? We know a lot of brokers or freight agents refer to themselves as dispatchers because they have to dispatch the truck once the load details are accepted and everything. But on the back end, or on the flip side of that coin, there are services and people who run companies, right, that assist in revenue production and actually finding this particular freight for these carriers and making sure that they can stay moving. And especially in a market like this, I know that so many people are concerned about their bottom line and their profit margins and price margins. But it's super important if you can connect yourself with someone, or with a team, or with a company that can be just as focused on your revenues as you are and help you achieve those goals.
I'm sorry, y'all. Can
Oh,
y'all hear me?
okay. I think I lost sound.
You have a lot of support. We have Miss Evelyn. She says, "Hello, G."
Hello. Hi, Miss Evelyn.
Then we have Miss. Oh, Miss. Oh Lord, I messed your name up. Uh,
Scenario, what it look like. Scenario.
Scenario. She says G with LMT.
Yes.
Let's go. And sorry for messing your name up. Fully loaded question. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, the big question is, what's going on in trucking right now? Like, what do you what lanes do you suggest that carriers start paying attention to and look at to be able to get to the money? Because we talking to Miss Gretchen with Long Money Trucking.
Come on. So one of my biggest things that I always talk about is diversification within your business. Really being open to diversifying your trailer system and your fleets and the type of commodities that you're willing to haul. I know right now, when we look at the market as a whole, and I always tell people that trucking is tied directly to the economy, right? So when we look at consumer spending, when we look at what's happening within the economy as a whole within our country, we can really tie that back to what's happening in the logistics world, what's happening. So it's going to be super important for us to really be paying attention to what's happening with consumer spending, where consumer spending is headed, and what seasons we're in, right? So right now, as a lot of carriers and drivers know, we're heading into produce season, right? So we're going to start to see a lot more freight. We're hoping to see a lot more freight when it comes to those refrigerated units, even vented vans. I tell people all the time, and when they're looking at purchasing vans, or dry vans, or renting dry vans, look at that versatility of a vented van, right? That way you can still haul some produce commodities to capitalize on those things. So I would definitely be paying attention to the Southeast right now, because a lot of produce production is going to come out of there, and they're going to be taking those lanes, distributing what has grown and what has been harvested out to the rest of the country. So I will truly pay attention to that. Also, our big infrastructure bill, right, that President Biden has pushed down, that we see a lot of people working on, and putting out their road construction, new builds, rebuilds. That's going to be huge for our flatbed drivers and flatbed carrier companies. Just really paying attention to those projects, really looking into working state and local, right? Getting yourself set up with your SAM registration and all of those things so that you can be eligible for those contracts. Because a lot of times we jump into this industry and we don't really realize the avenues that we could be taking advantage of to really make the long money. So
Yes.
I would definitely make that a call out. And I will also tell people to keep their eyes open for the next FEMA registration that should be coming up, I believe, starting in July, so that they can get their carrier companies registered with that as we get into hurricane season and all those different natural disaster type situations that we have as well. I would definitely pay attention to that. For any intermodal people, there was a big merger, and forgive me if I get this wrong, but I believe it was Family Dollar and Dollar General. They did a very big merger as well. So we have a lot of intermodal freight that's going to be coming through the Houston ports as well, that a lot of people could be paying attention to too. I could go on and on. So just stop me now if I keep talking.
I love it. Listen, I post her TikTok at the bottom. If she goes live for 2 hours every day
Yes,
on
ma'am.
giving gems, dropping information. You can ask so many questions. So make sure that you are tuned in to her TikTok. Subscribe, y'all. Definitely subscribe because this is something that
Absolutely.
she do not have to do. She don't have to come on for 2 hours and give y'all free gems for nothing. So make sure that you tune in and you get it because a lot of people right now are struggling in the transportation industry when you say, and so you have to have mentors who are
Yes.
going to guide you through the struggle point. And so let's go into talking about your inner circle.
Yes, so my inner circle, if any of my inner circle is watching, I want to see those circles in the comments, okay? We have been able to build a very massive community, and without each and every one of them, I got to shout my inner circle out just for making those investments within themselves to learn and to be in a community and be in around like-minded people. We help and we assist with dispatching, helping people really understand how to keep their carriers profitable, how to run the trucks, right? So many people say, oh, you just book the load, send the paperwork. It's more than that, right? Like we truly have to be paying attention to what zones and what areas we're sending these trucks to. We need to be understanding their daily rates, what these trucks need, their cost per mile, what their weekly gross revenue goals are, so that we can truly ensure that they are achieving these goals and that they are staying above the water, especially right now with things being so uncertain within the industry. So we have biweekly dispatch meetings that I host, and I've been able to develop, and God has blessed me with an amazing administrative team. I have a couple admins that do an amazing job, and in the weeks that I don't host a call, they host the call so that the rest of the community can have really live Q&A questions. So just shout out to the inner circle. Special shout out to my admins. Just the support has just been crazy. So I'm really thankful for them, and we've been able to really move the needle and have some people start making some money and start dispatching for real.
The inner circle is in the building. They
Come
are
on!
in the building. Y'all, listen. I love being here. I absolutely love it. So thank y'all all for tuning in and watching and supporting another woman in the industry is so important. And one thing I know is we have to lean on each other, network, get in those right rooms to be able to excel in this trucking industry.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
listen, I am literally so excited to be able to interview you, Miss Gretchen Long. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to bring her right back, and we're going to get into some more juicy conversations.
I don't like this. There are cars everywhere.
Bobby's, you're about to get on the interstate.
Oh,
so
my
slow
God.
the truck down.
Oh, God.
Slow the truck down. For real, slow the truck down. Stay over here on the left, okay? Take your high side. Go up here, okay?
I cannot believe I'm getting on the interstate.
Accelerate. Stay on this side, accelerate. Go faster. Faster, Bobby, faster.
Crap.
Look at all this traffic.
There are cars everywhere.
And now we're gonna take it to the highest gear that you've ever been in. We're gonna take it to the 10th gear.
Now?
There we go.
10th gear, baby!
Welcome to a unique dating experience unlike any other.
You gave the relationship all you had.
Wait, we have to share a bed?
Can your ex help you meet your next love?
I'm looking for somebody that's gonna make me laugh.
Do I have any low-lying feelings for Nicole? Maybe.
Sorry, I don't agree with their decision.
Are you afraid?
Know who you're talking to?
Why are we here?
You should be.
After Happily Ever After, series premiere, Wednesday at 10 on BET.
And we're back with Miss Gretchen Long from Long Money Trucking. And she's been dropping all the gems on us today, y'all. She's been talking about dispatch and trucking and how to get to that long money, right? We don't want the short money. We want that long money. I love the name of your company.
Thank you.
And so what tool do you use when it comes to be able to what tools do you give your carriers to be successful? Do you give them TMS systems? What type of systems do you use to make the carriers stay trucking?
Yes, ma'am. So I use Airtable as my TMS. I customize my own template. And I actually am able to use that interface for customer facing as well as for internal. Shout out again to my inner circle because I have them using the same thing as well.
The inner circle is in the building, y'all.
The support is crazy. Like
it's crazy.
They are amazing. Like God, and I talk about God so much, and because of what He's done for me, you know, and I want other people to know that He will do it for them too, you know, if you just have faith. But we use Airtable, and what that allows me to do is really look at each load from a microscope, right? And really be able to extract the data. And that's a really big thing for me, being able to look at the data. So when I have my trucks running, I can comprise data and look at, okay, what were the most profitable lanes from last week, right? Or what were the most profitable lanes for the month? And this will help us to redirect those trucks and help them. Okay, well, we were PA to Georgia, or we did a triangle from PA to Georgia, and then we went over to Mississippi, and we came back, and that run was able to keep us going. You know, the shippers and receivers were good. We didn't have extensive wait times. So all of that information helps us to be able to continue to navigate and make those better decisions or executive decisions on where to keep the trucks. So I coupled my personal data. I use the DAT data trend software all the time. And I use it because, of course, we know that 90% of spot market freight is posted there. So their data is very accurate to me. I will say maybe I may see a 20-cent differential when it comes to rates or what we're seeing. But the good news is you're actually able to see what was the highest rate was paid for a particular lane that was traveled and the lowest rate, right? So this gives us inside information when it comes time to negotiate with brokers and talk to them about these lanes. Because a lot of times, you know, when you're on the phone with a broker, you're asking them, oh, can you give me an extra $200? Well, why? You know, what am I going to give you extra $200 for?
For my fuel.
Fuel is great leverage, especially when fuel is fluctuating. But I always teach my carriers as well as my inner circle to negotiate within your leverage, right? Find the leverage within the lane to speak to why they should be paying you top dollar for that lane. And they really do have a lot of success with that.
Awesome. That is, see y'all, listen. The way she break down and explain things, like I know, like even from just seeing your inner circle here, they saying gang, support. Like people, you have so many people, help so many people win in this industry. Again, I just want to congratulate you. But I know you see some people who you can give them all the tools, but they just can't make it. So my next question is, why do you see some independent freight brokers or dispatchers companies fail?
Yeah. So to your point, I always say I can give you the game, but the hustle is so separate, right? And I think the number one reason why a lot of them fail is they give up. Right. A lot of people don't know how to fight through the hard times. One little thing goes wrong and we allow that to derail us from our entire vision or our entire dream or goal that we have set. And it's super important that, you know, even if things don't work out the first time, we have to keep going. Right. Look at the product WD-40. Right. They say that it was named WD-40 because that was his 40th attempt at trying to make the product, right?
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, right. So when you hear something like that, and then you look at your business and what you're going through, you're like, well, you probably haven't even tried 40 times. You know, you just ready to give up. So they're very quick to give up. And that's one of the things that I try to coach against. You know, even if it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like, continue to persevere through it, because on the other side of you getting through is your victory and is your success. And the second biggest thing that I would think that I would say hinders a lot of success is just the lack of knowledge and the lack of willingness to learn. Right. We have to continue to stay students, even as CEOs. Right. And even I'm sure as yourself, you still are learning, right? You're still putting yourself in spaces to expand your education, to expand your knowledge, to continue to take in and soak in information. And a lot of people, they don't remain forever a student, and they don't take the time to really research what it is that they're getting into. So that's a big thing for me. And that's why I push, study these lanes, study these rates, read the blogs, read newsletters, stay abreast of these things, because if you're not, you're going to fall by the wayside. I mean, rates change daily sometimes. So we have to stay abreast.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I need y'all to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Because this right
Yeah.
here, this right here is good. Great, good. This is great. So, okay. I'm new to the industry. Well, listen, for y'all who don't know me, I've been in the industry for 10 years. I'm just giving you a
Come
scenario. Okay. So I'm new to the industry. I want to become a dispatcher, but I might not have a bunch of money. So what tools do I need to purchase to get started in dispatching?
Of course. So I always tell people that dispatch is going to be your lowest startup entry point into the industry because you don't have to worry about a truck. You don't necessarily have to worry about any type of liability insurance or anything like that. So if you're strategic and you're resourceful, you could get this business started for at least $1,000 minimum, 1,500 on the high end. Most people have a computer already or some type of tablet, iPad. You already have a cell phone, right? We walk around with these in our hands like it's money. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so we already have those tools. Establishing your LLC, maybe what, $300 at the most, depending on what state you're in. Your EIN number is free. So you don't have to pay anybody to get that. That's something that you could easily obtain yourself at no cost to you. I definitely do recommend that you get some type of formal training. Now, you can go anywhere else, but as you can see, the inner circle is where it's at. So, if you need to come and come and get some training, absolutely. Vet those people, vet those services, vet me, or anybody before you invest in yourself, so you can make sure that you're making the right investment. And once you get the know-how and you have the tools that you need, hustle, and can't nobody give you that. You got to come with it.
You got to come with the hustle, y'all. The hustle is the most important piece because let's just talk about it. You have to really get out here and network. So in order to dispatch a carrier, as y'all know, most people know, I'm a driver, but I have been a carrier as well. So I'm a carrier as well. And so if I don't know you exist, how you going to dispatch me? So you got the hustle. You got to be out here talking to people. You got to be out here in the industry, rubbing shoulders with people. Look, we have Miss Nicole Ward in the building. She said that's right. She is. We just saw her on BET, Happily After. Ever after. So she's going to be on the Power of Podcasting event we have this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, with Dr. Tina J. Ramsey of the Tina Ramsey Show. Thank you both for tuning in tonight. Yes, she's dropping gems, y'all. She is dropping so many gems. I'm going to pop up what's coming up for us. We have the Power of Podcasting event. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're interested in podcasting, as you see that we are doing here, then you definitely want to attend this event on May the 6th. That's this weekend from 2 to 7. It's going to be a live taping with Nicole Ward from BET and Dr. Tina Ramsey. And then we are going to be on a panel talking about marketing and branding and all that good stuff at the Power of Podcasting event. You don't want to miss it. So,
got to be in the building.
Got to be in the building, y'all. Y'all got to be in the building.
Yes.
Now, do you find that some carriers can be a little bit hard to work with? And if they are, how do you handle situations like that?
Yes, so working with people is always challenging, right? Because we all have different personalities. But at the same time, like I tell everyone, right, the drivers, our carriers are the most important piece to the puzzle, right? Because if they're not driving and they're not happy, nobody's making any money. So we definitely have to make sure that we keep a focus on them and understand what their needs are. And that's the biggest thing that I try to do. What makes them happy? What makes them tick? What are hard no's for them? What is important to them, right? And a lot of time it's getting home on time, right? Or it's being not forced to be put in driving situations that make them uncomfortable.
That's what we want. We want to be home on time and we want our money on time.
Come on.
Those two things are the most important part. You don't pay me, I'm out. You don't get me home, I'm going home anyway.
Right. And you're gonna have to figure it out from there, right? So it's super important that when I'm working with someone that may be a little bit more challenging or has some issues or is giving a little bit more pushback, just really getting down to the root cause of the situation, right? What is it that's making you feel this way? What is it that you need, or what could we have done better? to make you feel more comfortable, to help us get through this particular situation. So I always approach it from that type of standpoint. And a lot of times people, when we become dispatchers, and when you're dealing with a dispatcher, sometimes they forget that the driver doesn't work for you. Yeah, they work for they work for themselves, right?
Yes. Wait a minute. Let me get the claps out. Hold on. She gets a round of applause. Let me try to. Is that the driver do not work for you? You're asking us to go somewhere to pick up and deliver, and we have the option to accept.
Exactly.
I'm loving this. See, I'm excited.
But it's true, right? And so in order for everybody on all sides of the coin to make money, everyone has to be happy. So granted, there may just be some situations with some drivers and carriers that you just can't work through, and sometimes they are just really challenging, and there's really not much that you can do. And that's why I do teach my inner circle that everybody may not be a good fit for you, right? Personalities definitely have to align in order for you to have a good working relationship. So just remembering that you're in a B2B situation, right? Business to business, not business to consumer, right? It's totally different. So you got to put some respect on these drivers' names. Absolutely. Absolutely. And being able to retain the business is what brings you longevity in your business, which is what brings you increased revenues in your business. And so all of those things. Come on with the long money. It's just that simple.
I love it. I love it. So what do carriers have to work with you, with your company?
As long as they have active MC authorities, they must have the full requirements for insurance. I do need a copy of their W-9, of course, so that everyone has that. I like for them to have all their securement equipment, right? Please have everything that you need. Valid CDL. Don't let me find out when you get pulled over at the weigh station that you ain't turned in your med card and now you ain't got no CDL just because you got the license, right? So as long as all their credentials and everything are in place, and they have the equipment that they need and the securement that they need, and they're open to being open, especially in a market like we're in right now. I know carriers and drivers don't like to do multi-stop loads. I know carriers and drivers don't like to go to those areas where they feel a little uncomfortable. But if you can give a little with me and we can talk through it and really just get down to the bottom of it and come up with an agreement together, then I'm okay with working with them. And again, so many people say no forced dispatch, right? That's the thing. Oh, no forced dispatch. But I don't think they truly know what that means. And I tell people all the time, it just really comes down to making sure that we have a clear understanding between the two of us. Me making sure I know, again, your hard nose. Okay, I know that you don't want to go through Virginia or West Virginia I know that that's a hard no for you. So we can work around that, right? But if you're willing to bend on the West Virginians, but you'll give me some Midwest, we can work it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like if I say 40 below, I just mean 40 below.
That's it.
So get the map out, look 40 and go below that. And that's I'm cool to ride in the wintertime across I-10. Cool.
That's it.
So drivers know, because that's, I've been to states. And like I said, I've been in this industry since 2014. And I've been to states I just don't want to go back to. I didn't leave anything in North Dakota. Like, I don't want to go back to North Dakota, right. And it's some states that might not even, it's some places that we deliver to where you're the only person that look like you there. And so it's not as comfortable for you to be there. You're trying to drop that load and get up out really fast. And so that's why sometimes, a lot of drivers do have preferences. And I love the way that you explained that. I also love the way that you explain how to handle adverse situations when dealing with carriers and drivers, because you will run into some challenging people so that you have to deal with. And you got to have really tough skin. You got to have really thick skin when it comes to being a dispatcher, because I know I've given my dispatcher a lot of I said, I ain't going nowhere today. I don't even feel like it. They like, what?
It's a relationship, right? It's like it's a relationship. You dating this person. Like you talk to them at first thing in the morning. You talk to them at the end of the day. You talk to them throughout the day. You exchanging money. That's a relationship, So
and I was gonna say, and I had I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I said you just may have differences, and that's okay.
And I've had some dispatchers who I just absolutely love, and it didn't matter what they tell me to go, I was gonna go because I just love them. And so when you build that relationship, like you said, with the carrier, with that driver, and they just love you, you can pretty much ask them to go anywhere, because they know you have their best interest. You're not gonna put them in any kind of situation. You're not gonna make them drive over black ice, you know. If we say, hey, it's black ice, it's snowing, I can't move, you're like, just go ahead and deliver. No, they don't work. So if it's a situation that's like that, where it is a weather and the driver cannot deliver, or it's an accident on the road, then what do you suggest that drivers do? They will communicate with the dispatcher, correct? And then what happens? Let's talk about that, because I think a lot of times a lot of drivers don't understand what roles they play, why they have to communicate these things, so you can be able to communicate with the brokers and stuff like that. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I fight with one of my drivers all the time because he feels like he don't have to call me. If there's nothing you can do, so I don't need to call you, right? But it's super important that we know, right? To let us know, to put us on standby or give us some notice, right? That way we can work the things in the back end, right? If it's going to be something that we have to decide, hey, don't move, wait until they clear it up, wait until whatever breaks through, or you can find an alternative route. We need to be able to notify the broker of that to make sure that there's not ramifications to your authority on a late delivery, to protect your asset, which is your company. And again, as far as weather conditions are concerned, we really do try to look through those things when it comes to trip planning and routing for them, to make sure that we're kind of checking for those types of things and making sure that we're not sending them into adverse conditions knowingly. Sometimes it could be blue skies, and then as soon as they get there, a storm came that we didn't even hear about, right? So we know that the weather can just be very fickle and kind of change at the drop of a dime. So safety is first. I would never ask a driver or a carrier to do anything that they feel is unsafe, because again, I'm at a computer, you're in the truck. So I can't say what you deem as safe or unsafe. And if you're telling me that it's unsafe, I'm going to take your word for it, because that's your lane, right? My lane is to be at the desk at the computer making the numbers look right. Your lane is to get it there safely. So that's super important. And communication is key. When it comes to that driver and dispatch relationship, we must talk. We have to talk, especially as it's pertaining to your loads or any challenges or things that arise while you're out there in the field. Because if we can't hear from you or we're not notified, then we just don't know.
Absolutely. That is right on point. Safety is the number one thing. And I want y'all to be safe. Do not drink and drive. But shout out to my sponsor, Sakari Spirits. It is a woman, black owned. If the bottle feels so good. And I have another sponsor now, Miss Lady Nab. She has a winery. It's called Lady Knapp's Winery. It's here in Chattanooga. She has cotton candy, all different types of flavors, y'all. All different types of flavor. I haven't opened them yet. As you see, I'm getting ready to. I tried them all at the winery, and they all are good. And this is peach here. But the Sakari Spirits, y'all, oh my God, it's so good. But listen, do not drink and drive. Safety first, safety first. And I'm going to take a shot, because shout out to my sponsor, True TMS. We're going to talk about that. A TMS system that you can manage your trucking company with as well. And Miss Gretchen, she also told you about a trucking company herself, but True TMS is one of our sponsors, and they do load management, reports, back office, driver dispatch management, EL, and they have ELD providers as well. So thank you to our sponsors. And I'm just going to play a quick little video as one of our members who received our the True TMS, as she gives a little.
Huge shout out to TMS for this amazing shot glass that I received in my goodie bag at the rooftop mixer. Thank you so much, TMS.
True TMS, shout out to you. Sakara Spirits, girl, you know That's just good. Okay, and our next sponsor is Relay Payments. Relay Payments, you can save $250. Okay, if you go to their page, Relay Payments, and you just literally tag yourself up on this post, you can save $250 at the pump. These are for our owner operators and our carriers. Okay, so get your driver to go in, and then you can save $30 in fuel. If you're a She Trucking member, you get $30 off by using the code SAVE30. And Relay Payments is an app. It is an app that you can put on your phone, and it also helps, like, instead of using those checks, like if the check, what is the checks?
For the EFS and
EFS and all of those checks, you don't have to use that. You can use Relay Payments. So if you don't have Relay Payments, Miss Gretchen, I want you to sign up today. And you're in a circle. I want everybody to get on it, because that's when I say, as a driver, as a carrier as well, it has made my life easier to be able to use this digital. They give you these digital cards. It's a debit card, and so the carriers can put money on that card, and now I don't have to wake you up in the middle of the night for my lumper fee. They take lumper fees, all different kind of things. If you short on, whatever, if you need whatever you need, if you need to do a cash advance for your driver, they can use that as well. So shout out to Relay Payments, and sorry I had to take a second to shout out my sponsors. But back to the She Trucking podcast with Miss Gretchen Long with Long Money Trucking. Oh, I love the name of your company. What made you name it Long Money Trucking?
Man, so of course my last name is Long.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was at Comcast, my team that I led when I was store manager, we were number one in sales for 3 quarters in a row, and they just started calling us the Long Money Team. So when I left Comcast and I was thinking of my business name, I was like, you know what? It's Long Money Trucking. Like it was like a no-brainer. And I was just like, we sticking with it, and then it just kind of kept going. And at first I was like, man, people gonna be like, Long Money Trucking, like that's weird. And I was just like, well, the fact that it's my last name, it should smooth it over.
Absolutely. So do y'all have any like dedicated runs, or do y'all look for more people that's doing over the road? What type of carriers and drivers are you looking for when it comes to that commute?
Yeah, so I do have some of my carriers that are on dedicated lanes. I really like to have them for a while before I put them on dedicated lanes, because as we know, right, it's easy to get a contract, but it's even easier to lose it, right? A lot of people don't understand that maintenance and you being out. So when you're on a contract and you sign on with one of these shippers or receivers, right, for a contract, they don't really care about you needing days off. They don't really care about you needing time off. If they're telling you that their quota is that they have 5 loads or a load every day that needs to be delivered, you need to have a truck available to get that done. And so it's really important to me to make sure that the carriers are represented the right way within their business, so that they can create longevity in those business relationships. I do deal more with a lot of OTR drivers. Right now, we really just are playing it by ear. What I like to do, and I kind of just went over this with my inner circle last week, we really focus on making sure that every carrier has a Friday load, so that a Friday pickup that's going to carry them over the weekend will be where they do their long haul. And then Monday through Thursday, or Tuesday through Thursday, the rest of those drops, we will be trying to work to achieve that daily truck rate, right? So whatever it is that truck needs to make every day, we really work on trying to do that, which will be a load that they can deliver next day to keep them kind of rolling. So I like to kind of mix it up. I do like for drivers to be open. I can't say I want you to stay out forever, right? But if you can give me a week, at least 2 weeks of time that you can roll and then come on home, that works well for me, and we can actually see the long money and strategically trip plan for you and make sure that you can achieve the goals that you have for yourself. I like people who are realistic, who understand the business, and if they don't understand the business, that are willing to learn the business, and learn into what they need to research and what they need to look at to understand the business. Because oftentimes we have so many people that have convoluted the social media space with misinformation and setting these high expectations, right? And so a lot of people got into the industry during COVID, where we were seeing abnormal rates, astronomical rates that are not even industry norms, right? And so now business in 2019. So when I look at the data of where the market was then versus where the market is right now, we're actually starting to see it stabilize a little bit. But what happened is everyone's over leveraged. People were spending $100,000 on box trucks and, 75, even that much, right? So when you have high costs like that, you don't leave yourself any room for margin and fluctuation in the market, which was just a crazy business time.
I couldn't believe it. I never heard any. I remember box trucks was like $2,500. So when I heard people, saying like they spent $100,000 on box truck, I was like, why didn't you buy a semi truck and a trailer? Like you could have bought a semi truck and a trailer. It blows my mind.
Right.
But like you said, lack of information. And let's go back to that mentorship, and that's why it's so important. So do you do in-person classes or do you do virtual classes? How do that work?
So I saved this announcement for your podcast, right? So we are taking our dispatching classes on the road. So I do have a online version that people can sign up for, and it's a value priced at $499, and I also do an option where they can split it up into 2 payments once a month for $249.99, right? I want people to really be able to get into this industry, and not just get into the industry, but get real valuable information and be a part of the community. Not just the training, but the inner circle. We have our private Discord network. We do bi-weekly Zoom calls and then weekly Zoom calls for their accountability groups to really bring them into that community. And now I've kind of dissected my analytics, right? And so the top 5 cities that watch me are going to be getting in-person dispatch trainings available from me. We're going to run a full 6-week tour. So we're going to be touching in Houston, Dallas, Charlotte. Lord, what were the other 2? Of course, it just left me. Houston, Dallas, Charlotte, Chicago, and
Atlanta.
How did you know? Yes, and Atlanta. Yes. So those are going to be the cities that we hit. I'm going to open those up, and it's going to be a 3-day event, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So people to get really hands-on in-person time with me. They'll still get access to the course after that. They'll still get access to the Inner Circle Discord and all of those things, but to really take the learning experience in person. So that's a live announcement for Loan Money Trucking. So I'm super excited to plan that and get that on the road this summer.
That's so awesome. How many people have you mentored?
So I have over 200 people in the program from the time, right, man? God is so good. I know I'm excited about it, right? Because I'm like, little old me, I'm like me, but it has been
ATL.
I won't forget. But yes, so I've been able to really reach a lot of people, and we do have new signups every day. People joining the community and entering in the program and entering into the mentorship. I also people can book calls with me, and I only charge $60 for a call. You get 45 minutes with me to just pick my brain, to ask questions. I am a tough coach. I don't sugarcoat. You're gonna have to come with it, but we all need that, right? We all need somebody that makes us rise to the level that we're actually at, and that's super important. We have to have people hold us accountable in life to get us where we need to go. Now, again, I can't want it for you, but I will make sure that you don't cut no corners, and I will work with you as hard as you're willing to work for yourself.
Absolutely. That means she's setting you up for success, because you have to be tough in this industry. You have to be tough in this industry. So you said you have ebooks and you have do you have an ebook?
Yes, ma'am. I do have an ebook. I do have the How I Started a Dispatch Company in 2 Weeks ebook. That's $24.99 if anyone's interested in that as well too. And I just really go over step by step all of the things that you need to have set up. There's links to go ahead and purchase the training from there. But all of the dispatch forms that you need, any contracts and agreements that you need for the company are listed in there as well. I also do have a dispatch journal on Amazon for $7.11 that you can utilize every day as you're calling and speaking with brokers, calling on different loads, to write down that information to just make it a little bit easier for you to work throughout your day as well too.
Awesome. She got a lot of tools and resources for y'all. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you are tapped in. You spoke about government contracts and FEMA loads and different things of that. I wanted to go back for our last 15 minutes and kind of like dive into it, because being a double minority, woman owned, Black,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's so important. Like, you can use that as leverage. So let's talk about how, as women, we gotta be out here getting these certifications so you can be able to get some of the contracts. So you want to dig deep in and telling them how to go about getting that. If you offer it, do you offer helping with certifications? And
So I do help with your SAM.gov certification. And that's one thing that everyone should have, right? Because it's free to get registered in SAM. It's free to get your UEI number, right? Once you get registered in SAM. And you also want to go ahead and get your cage code as well, right? So these are all things that I believe all carriers, even as a dispatch, even as a freight broker, you can accept or bid on government contracts. That's super, super important. And there's a lot of opportunity there. Again, especially being double minorities, or I'm sure we have some people that are veteran owned businesses, right? That also can capitalize. And I think a lot of people miss the part that 25% of all government contracts are set aside for set asides, right? So those who can have additional certifications. So the money is there. And I know a lot of times it's very hard for us to get into it, but I urge everyone to go to their local SBA department, because this again is a free resource that you all have access to, right? Go to your SBA department, get signed up with a PTAC officer. That's your PTAC officer, right? Someone that can help you navigate what it is that you're trying. That can help you navigate what it is that you're trying to do, right? Because there's no time stamp on how long you need to be in business in order for you to get a government contract, right? So you just having your business set up properly already has you ready to put your name in the hat. So I urge everyone to do that. Go meet down with your local SBA, also your local Chamber of Commerce. Huge opportunity there, unmissed opportunity. I even urge you to join your local Chamber of Commerce. You will find some local shippers there, people who have products, cold storage units. You don't know who's available to you in your area. So they have directories online, free, that you can access, of people that you can network, partner yourself with. They host dinners and galas, and all of these things are ways for you to rub shoulders with the people that can help put you in those places or give you those opportunities that you need to. And I urge you to put yourself out there the same way I put myself out here to work with Miss Sheree, right? And this beautiful platform that she has built and the opportunity that she provides for people. You just never continue to align your business that way. And as far as FEMA is concerned, I know that they only do acceptance like once a year, and you have to fill out the application for them. But I would definitely go to FEMA.gov and start looking at how to become a carrier for FEMA, right? Look at that from the beginning. I remember working, and I don't want to get too gruesome, but I remember working during the pandemic. I had someone with a refrigerated van who had a contract to assist in COVID, right? To help them house and to move things, right? So, I mean, the work is there. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to put ourselves in those spaces, and just get and have your stuff in order, right? Get your house in order, especially right now with everything that's happening within the economy, knowing that we're coming up on hurricane season. In the winter times, we have all these natural disasters and things that happen, or people needing water, or whatever the case may be. Get your house in order. Be focused on not just jumping into the industry and getting on the spot market, but niching down in your business. Figuring out what you can capitalize on, whether it be hazmat, whether it be refrigerated, right? Find something that you can specialize in and exploit that market, right? It's yours for the taking.
That's great information. First of all, you just pivoted into my next question. How valuable is a driver who have those endorsements, if they have the hazmat and the tanker endorsements? How valuable is that driver?
Super, right? Tell carriers all the time, even Twit Card, right? That's just another avenue that you can have to position yourself to take loads that others cannot. And having your hazmat endorsement is awesome, but you want to make sure that you're also partnering yourself with a carrier that is hazmat certified as well too, right? So carriers must have their HMIDs. They need to have the correct hazmat insurance. They also need to have training programs in place to make our transport hazmat safely, and that they understand placarding, right? So make sure that you're asking those. I tell drivers all the time, interview your carriers the same way that they're interviewing you, right? Ask them those questions, figure out exactly where their company stands, what they're looking to do, where they're looking to take their company, and make sure that you're going to be a good fit and that you can grow with them as well as they can grow with you. So endorsements are huge. I advocate for that, right? If you can just take a test and get something that's going to make you more money, why wouldn't you?
Right. You have to be qualified to really get to that loan money.
That's
So
it.
get qualified. Everybody get qualified. You spoke about the rail, going to the rails as well. That's another way, you know, you can just do rail freight. But
Yep.
as a carrier, you just can't just pick up unless you have the following certifications. So let's go into that. Like your
Right.
UIA and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. To be an intermodal carrier, you absolutely need your UIIA. So I tell carriers all the time, especially those that start, when you start getting into this industry and you start making money, a lot of times people want to see profit so fast, right? But let's understand, when you start a new business, it may be 3 to 5 years in business before you start making a profit, before you even know if this business is going to be a success or even be sustainable, right? So as you're starting and you're starting to see a surplus in money, don't take that money and put it in your pocket. Reinvest that money back into your business, right? Go out and get your UIIA certification, purchase the additional insurance that's required, right? Purchase trailer interchange insurance, purchase hazmat insurance, up your cargo from 100,000 to 250,000 so that you can qualify for higher paying freight or higher paying loads, or even go get your carrier registration to haul alcohol, right? These are even other avenues that they could capitalize in and take advantage of. So my biggest thing is reinvesting your money back into your business and putting yourself in a position to continue to grow your business, even if it's buying additional assets like more trailers, or if you are currently renting a trailer, or you're in a dry-van trailer, or you're in a reefer trailer and you want to be able to take advantage of flatbed freight at some point. That way you're not stuck in one lane, and then when one season ends, now the money stops, right? When we look at the course of a year, right? Let's say a carrier or a driver drives 3 weeks and they're out for 1 week every month. That means that you only have 9 months of true operating time within your business. You're not even getting a full year to accrue revenue. So when you're looking at it from that perspective, and you know you're going to have 3 months totaling off at the end of the year, and you only have 9 months to make the money, it's a lot more serious when we're looking at that bottom line. So being able to put yourself in a position during those 9 months to continue to expand and grow your business is going to be super important. And anyone that's looking to get into the industry or is already in the industry, if you're not already thinking like that, I urge you to start thinking like that, on ways that you can grow your business. Or even right now, instead of worrying about rates, how can you reduce things in your business, right? How can you save on insurance? How can you save more money on fuel, whether it's the Relay app or getting a fuel card, right? These things truly can help increase your margins without you having to haggle with brokers about money. So make sure that you're getting lean in your business, that you're really focusing on efficiency in your business. And that's going to also help you to protect your bottom line and increase your margins too.
Absolutely. Totally agree. I'm gonna ball this up because that was hit on my next question. How to save money and keep these truckers in business. She just told you how to do that. So that's why you see my balled up piece of paper over here. I throw it away because she already gave it to you. And I like people like you that's transparent and that will tell you, hey, this is what you need to do to be successful. So what are you reading? Like, do you read, or what are you listening to?
Oh, I am a reader. I'm a reader. I talk about books all the time. So, right now I got the book right here. So this is what I'm reading right now. So leadership, not by the book. And so this is written by the owner of Hobby Lobby.
Really?
Yeah. So he talks about in this book, he's talking about his unorthodox leadership style, where he was really used God and faith within his business to help build his business principles that the business was on. And you know that he just recently gave his business away. He didn't even sell it. He gave it away. because that's what he felt like he was instructed to do. And so this talks about being obedient in your business and being able to take guidance from him. So I told you, God is literally the head of my life. So this right here has been a really good book. I read the last book that I read the other month, maybe it was like 2 months back. I read What Would the Rockefellers Do? That was a good read. Just speaking on, we can all make money, but what do you do when you get the money, right? That's my biggest thing. We can make the money, but what we gonna do when we get it? Because we got to keep it. It's not about how much you make, it's how much you keep. Right. So really learning about building trust to create generational wealth, IULs, being able to model these things and set these things up for our families, right? Because we all are out here hustling for a reason, right? It's not just for free. We out here to leave something behind, to build something. So we want to protect our assets and protect our brands and what we've built. So that was another really good book that I read too. So I'm on a journey right now, a book a month to get things done. So
I love it.
Yeah, I read. And I think everyone should read. If you don't, make a mini goal. Even if you just read 3 books a year, right? Or 6 books a year, you're reading more than like 80% of America, right?
Absolutely.
So read.
Have you wrote a book yet?
Man, that's confirmation. I literally was on the phone today and I was telling one of my friends, I can't wait till I write my book. And I haven't yet, but that's in the works. The autobiography of Gretchen Long is in the works.
Yes, you got to write a book. You have to.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today. How can people find you? How do people follow you?
Long Money Trucking on all platforms. Long Money Trucking on all platforms. Give me a follow, like, and share, and subscribe, you guys. I'll go live on TikTok, as Ms. Sheree pointed out at the beginning of this, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And before we get up out of here, I just want to, can you cue your applause for you, Ms. Sheree, for just creating a platform like this, for welcoming me with open arms, for just being a delight to work with, and just really having this opportunity. I'm stoked. I was super excited about this, and I just think it's awesome. And I pray that God continue to bless and uplift the She Trucking podcast and anything that it is that you set out to do, because you absolutely are the woman in trucking that is creating opportunity for the rest of us.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And I wish you much success. Shout out to the inner circle. I mean, y'all showed up. They showed up tonight.
Hello. I know that's right. I appreciate each and every one of the gang in the building. I love y'all.
Yes. And listen, you're welcome back here on the She Trucking podcast anytime. I'm gonna try to talk her into becoming a host on one of the days. Maybe we can put she go live already on Monday through Thursday. So maybe and have her come live on the She Trucking podcast as well. Inner circle, pressure her in that background. Y'all get her over here, because we love bringing women of leadership, women in the industry on our platform, and give y'all a seat at the table. So look at the inner circle. They just showing out tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, look, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey said, come on over. She is the founder of CTR Media, the CEO of CTR Media Network. She said, come on over. You have a home here. So we would love to have you and continue to keep building the relationship here on the in our community. So new to this chat, been sub She Trucking. Thank you so much for joining. Last words. Okay, here's your last words. I'm going to give you the spotlight. And I always ask somebody to leave us either a quote or words of encouragement. I love quotes. Okay. So your favorite quote.
Oh, my favorite quote. Ooh, on the spot with it. Look. Look, I'm gonna leave words of encouragement because it's leaving me right now, but I'm gonna tell everybody to continue to stay down for your dreams, continue to stay focused on your dreams, no matter what you may have been going through, no matter if you get knocked down, no matter if what you're going through wipes you out. Know that if you got to the bottom, that you're on your way back up to the top. So stay focused, stay encouraged, and believe that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Today we had Miss Gretchen Long from Long Money Trucking, and she is amazing, y'all. Definitely go and check her out on TikTok. It's still going. Her TikTok is Long Money Trucking at the bottom of the screen. So make sure you check her out. Please like this video, share, and subscribe to the She Trucking YouTube page so you don't miss any shows. I'm gonna be on her, y'all, to try to get her on here where we can be able to get at least once a month. If she can come back once a month and talk about that dispatching life, talk about what's going on in trucking, because she has really blessed us today. And so we are here live every Sunday, and on Mondays we have the Trucking Reality Talk with Nicole Ward. Again, I'm your founder, Sheree Moore with She Trucking. I'm sorry, I see y'all comments. Dispatching company started in 2021. Love the trucking industry. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look at all the love from her inner circle, y'all. And she did an amazing job. Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you all again for tuning in. We'll be back live again tomorrow with Nikki Nicole Ward on the Trucking Reality Talk on the She Trucking Podcast, powered by CTR Media Network.
Are you a female truck driver looking to connect with other women in the industry? Or a company in the trucking industry looking to support and empower women drivers? Look no further than She Trucking. Our community is dedicated to providing resources, support, and networking opportunities for women in the trucking industry. Join us and connect with a diverse group of women drivers, access exclusive content and events, and discover tools and resources to help you succeed on the road.
A local 4-year-old boy named King may be a reading and writing king. He's using his early reading skills to help other children, as Riley Nagel reports.
At 4 years old, King Chambers is already a superhero with super strength, super speed, and most importantly, the ability to read.
There's a boy named King. He was a very smart student who loves to read and learn new things.
King recently wrote his first book, titled King the Dream, which is about a superhero who teaches others how to read.
He loved reading, he loved math. He's just very, very smart.
King's mother, Jennifer Ellis, says he learned how to read at the age of 2.
And I read books to him all the time. Even when he was in the womb, I read books, and he loved it.
How many books would you say you've read so far?
I read 90 books.
Ellis says once King started mastering more and more books, he told his mom he wanted to write a book about himself as a superhero.
And he came up with he could teach kids how to read. And so we helped him put it all together, put his dream in a book.
King is very proud of his book, and he even wanted to teach everyone at Local 3 how to read.
He loved to teach kids how to read. Anytime he see a kid, he let them know about his book. And they are so excited because it's nothing like having your own peer teach you how to read.
Ellis says she has no secrets to teaching a child how to read, but she says reading to them at night may help.
There's no rule book to parenting, but just give them 100% the best of you and all the love, because they're our future.
Ellis says she isn't sure what's in store for King's future, but she knows it's bright. King will be starting school next year, and we're all very excited to see his accomplishments and his next book.
The end.
Reporting in Chattanooga, I'm Riley Nagel, Local 3 News.
Big news. My book, The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success. Our book has been named #1 on Book Authority's Best New Podcasting Books for 2023 list. Thank you to everyone who has supported me and my book. It's a great honor to receive this recognition, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. Read the article on www.bookauthority.org. If you haven't had a chance to check out my book yet, you can find it on Amazon.com. If you're in the Atlanta area, don't miss The Power of Podcasting event on May 6th. Each ticket purchase comes with a signed copy of the #1 book. Grab your tickets now before they're gone. www.ctrmedianetwork.com